Good morning, Stingrays. Today is September 29th. That's a Tuesday. We're almost at the end of September, ladies and gentlemen. Today is all about multiplying fractions. Yes, now this should be a review. This should be more or less a review on how to multiply fractions. I'm going to go over three things today. I'm going to go over converting whole numbers into fractions, which is not as difficult as it sounds. I'm going to go over how to convert mixed numbers back into an improper fraction. An improper fraction means it's too heavy and it's going to tip over. And then just simply multiplying fractions. This should be an easy one-day lesson. Tomorrow we'll be multiplying decimals, which is actually easy. It just depends on your understanding of it. You just have to make sure you do one thing correctly. But let's move on for today's lesson, okay? Today we're talking about multiplying fractions. So, first thing I gotta go over, let's say we have a whole number 5. Now 5 is a whole number, okay? It's not a fraction, because a lot of people think fractions, fractions, that means it's a part of something, because technically a fraction is a part of a whole. But here's the thing, slow down. Here's the thing, you can turn a whole number into a fraction simply by putting it over 1. Because you got to think of it as like dividing by 1. So 5 divided by 1. Remember, the fraction bar, it can indicate division. It indicates division. That's what it does. So 5 divided by 1 simply would make it 5. So you turn any whole number into a fraction by putting it over 1. Okay? Point number 1. Point number 2. Let's convert a mixed number. So let's say I have 5 and 3/5. 5 and 3/5. I can't multiply with this, okay? That's what this is all leading up to, is multiplying fractions. In order to multiply fractions, you can't have whole numbers, and you can't have mixed numbers. You need fractions, okay? Fractions. So, I have 5 and 3/5. Convert this into an improper fraction. You multiply down, okay? So you multiply down, and then you add up. Add that here. I forget that part. Oh, those aren't big enough. Multiply down, add up, okay? So, what I mean, here's my example. 5 times 5 is 25. Take that number and add the number that's up. 25 plus 3, 28. So 28, and then you put that over your original denominator. So now you've turned 5 and 3/5 into 28 over 5, and you can use that to multiply fractions. Okay? You can't use a mixed number. It's too complicated. Way too complicated. We're not starting that. We're not doing that. So, let's actually talk about why we're here. Now that I've covered those two things that you should already know, those are the review parts. Okay, you should know that part by now. So, let's talk about actually multiplying fractions. It's not hard. It's not even a little bit hard. It's so simple, we're spending one day. Okay? Because the key is, let's see, I'll take my example here. I have 9 over 2, which means it's an improper fraction. I probably had to convert it. Multiplied by 2 over 3, or 2/3. Guys, when I say multiplying fractions is easy, you probably already know that it's easy, and I'm just keep repeating myself, and you're waiting for me to move on. But, simply put, multiplying fractions, just multiply across. 9 times 2 is 18. 2 times 3 is 6. That's it. I'm going to ask you to simplify. I'm going to ask you to convert. So let's convert. How many times does 6 go into 8? 3 times. So, 9 over 2 times 2/3. Answer is actually 3. It's 18 over 6. Okay? I got 2 more examples for you. These are not on the worksheet. These are actually examples. Next problem. 11 over 6 multiplied by 7 over 5, 7/5. 7/5, 11/6. Now, what did I say you have to do for multiplying fractions? You simply do what? You multiply across. Very good. 11 times 7, 77. 6 times 5, 30. 30. Now let's convert. This one's a little harder to convert. But in order to convert back from an improper fraction, where's it at? There's it at. Into a mixed number, you divide. So how many times does 30 go into 77? That's way too complicated, Mr. Nugent. Deep breath. 30 times 2 is 60. 30 times 3 is 90. We've gone too far, so we know it's at least 2. Now what's 77 minus 60? You have 7 and you have 16. So that means that's the leftover. Okay, so this and this, same answer. Okay, depending on what I ask. I may tell you, I want you to convert, I want you to simplify. Do it. Or I may just say, give me the fraction however it comes. I believe IXL will let you do that. It'll let you put it however you want. It will also specifically say sometimes. Last example. Last example. Okay. 8 over 14 times 7 over 6. Oh, Mr. Nugent, what are you talking about? I got to do 14 times 6 in my head? I can't do that. Deep breath. I have a trick. Okay, I have a trick you may already know. Okay, so you can cross simplify if you want to. It's usually easier to cross simplify if the number actually goes into the number. So 14 actually goes into 7. How many times? Twice. So you can simplify that. I can take 7 goes into 14 twice. That now becomes a 2. But I have to also change this 7. I can't just change this. I have to change this. 7 goes into 7 how many times? Once. Okay? Some of you are saying out there, you could also do the 8 and the 6. I could, but that's dividing by 2 and not into each other. So it'll confuse some people, so I'm not going to do it. You know how to? Good. Please do it. 8 times 1 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. 8 twelfths. I'm going to ask you to simplify. I'm going to ask you to simplify. I'm going to ask you to simplify. So, simply put, simplifying, you divide by the same number. They are both even, so I always suggest dividing by 2. You'll end up with 4, and you'll end up with 6. Keep going. Do it again. You end up with 3. No, sorry, you end up with 2. You end up with 3. That's your final answer. I know what you're saying. At the beginning, we could have divided by 4. Good. I'm glad you know that. But if you are stuck and you can't figure out what numbers go into it, you could always use 2 if they're both even. Okay? Hopefully this video isn't too long. I'm going to chop it down. I'm going to edit it up. Our winners this week, because it's Tuesday, our winners this week, Adonai. Congratulations, Adonai. Congratulations, Jenny. And congratulations, Hassan. I already shared the document with you, so hopefully you got the notification. Yeah, that's it for me today. Let's start chopping this thing up.